Welcome to a brand new series on Saved Game Channel called Saving History. Have you ever wondered about the origins of video games on the PC? No? You haven't? Hey, where are you going? It's interesting, I swear! Well, for those of you who are left, I'm going to assume you're either interested in seeing the origins of gaming, or you're one of my friends and I'm making you watch this.
I don't want to watch this anymore! You have no comedic timing, please turn this off! It's been 16 hours, please! I just want to go home!
The origins of modern-day PC gaming date back all the way to 1952, if you can believe it. Two games vie for the spot of first video game ever, though one takes the top spot in my mind because it actually qualifies as a computer game, as opposed to a clever trick performed with an oscilloscope. The first, called Tennis for Two, is not, by definition, a computer game, though it could be argued that it was kind of a computer game, since one definition of a computer is an electronic device for storing and processing data, then technically this blender is a computer. But anyway, Tennis for Two was designed by American physicist William Higginbotham as a fun interactive display at the Brookhaven National Laboratory's annual public exhibition. He theorized that people would be far more interested in the complex physicsy stuff if there was a game everyone was familiar with that was played on a screen with simple controls everyone could use. William Higginbotham was absolutely right, and his display became the most popular one at the whole event. So, Tennis for Two, while using electronic parts to control a display and play a game, was technically a computer game. OXO, the very Britishly subtitled A Game of Noughts and Crosses, was both made for an actual computer called the EDSAC and made before Tennis for Two, which, in my book, solidifies it as the first computerized video game ever made. Others may argue that there is no movement on the screen, and thus it does not qualify. But then I argue that that means all text-based adventure games are also not video games, and I don't think that's the case. I didn't say they were any fun, just that they're video games. And this one is no exception to both of those statements. It's about as fun as hitting yourself in the head with a bag of rocks.
Ow. 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 Ow.
But it's tic-tac-toe. What do you expect? Now, those two games are certainly the dawn of video games in general, but I'd like to focus on the PC game world, which necessitates two things. First, the programs we will focus on are video games, and secondly, they were released for a personal computer. We've covered the first bit, but what was the first personal computer? The first ever computers could definitely not be placed in that category because, well, they were the size of a house. But in 1981, things took a drastic change. Okay, yes. Things had been miniaturizing for years before that. People had computers in their homes before 1981, namely the Altair 8800 in 1975, the Commodore VIC-20 in 1980, along with the Sinclair ZX80 in that same year. They were mainly hobbyists and crazy bug-eyed nerds working in their ham Radio Shacks or whatever. But in 1981, IBM released what was to be the game changer, no pun intended, in personal computing. The IBM PC released in August of that year, and by 1983, there were an estimated 10 million PCs in the US. In fact, the IBM was so popular that the word PC went from meaning any personal computer using any operating system to meaning a computer using IBM architecture and running MS-DOS. Next time, we'll start in 1981 with the first games designed for MS-DOS to be run on the IBM 8088 processor. Thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to know more about any of the games, computers, or operating systems mentioned in the video, make sure to check out the links in the description below. As always, please leave a comment, click the old thumbs up button, and hey, share it with your friends. I mean, you got some, right? Rubber baby buggy bub. What does he say? Ruggy bumpers. What?
Rubber baby buggy bumpers.
Oh, you know it? How do you know it? Say it again.
Rubber baby buggy bumpers.
Ah, you screwed it up.